Friendo Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, of course, taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. I'm looking at the graphic right now, and I really, like right there, I just really want to move, I want to push the graphic over. It's more towards Lashley than it is. It's trying to run away from Kenny Omega.
Oh, gotcha.
Trying to run away that way.
The verbiage on top there. Yes, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
Yeah. But anyways, so it's Monday. Tons of lots of little wrestling news stories, and also some actual wrestling that happened. Want to say thanks to everybody, number one, for hanging out with us on Saturday for our Impact reactions.
That was a damn fine wrestling program too.
You know, can I say something here really quick about the Impact Wrestling? It's kind of like the only show that surprises me anymore. Have you noticed, nobody really can shock you anymore? Because, for example, looking at Kenny Omega right now, he's going to have the title until Hangman takes it off him. I'm looking at Bob Lashley. That is a little bit more unpredictable. With Bob Lashley, maybe Drew McIntyre versus him at Mania. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it goes back to Drew, I wouldn't really be shocked. Impact can shock me. Yeah. The Good Brothers dropping the titles. And then when you go back and think about it, it's that kind of makes sense. New Japan's entering in this new relationship with Impact. They're probably hey, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Prove it.
Prove me you're not the Impact of years past. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. And then it gets the Good Brothers. Maybe they're going to go to New Japan to get those titles back. I don't know. Maybe that'll happen in Rebellion. I don't know. But man, I had so much fun. I have so much fun watching these Impact pay-per-views with you and the Enforcer. Congratulations to the Enforcer for picking up the Trios title. Congratulations to me for picking up the Impact title.
Your belts are right back there.
Beltas. I got to get those beltas from you.
They're right there.
I can't see them. They're not on screen.
No, they're right there. They're right behind me. You see that amorphous blob of darkness behind me next to my guitars? Those are your belts.
Okay.
Those are your belts.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to get them for me today. I'm probably going to drive by, or I'm going to take a nap. We got Raw tonight. But yeah, man, Impact, I don't know. I never know what they're doing. I mean, we did pretty well in predictions, but I don't know.
No, we didn't do that great. It was we got 60% of them, collectively right.
We had, and we didn't even bet on the Swan
main event.
The main event. I probably would have got that wrong.
Yeah,
because I probably would have gone with Moose. So we're going to talk about Impact in a little bit, but man, Impact kind of has me, I'll be honest with you, kind of emotionally involved.
Yep.
Just going to be honest with you.
You're in the palm of their hand.
Absolutely, man.
Of Don Callis. What is he, the invisible hand?
I'm in the palm of the invisible
hand.
I'm wrapped around his little invisible finger, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Impact in a little bit. But first, we've got an update on disgruntled Andrade and his release request. What's going on here?
So, of course, Friday, we talked about the report from Wrestling Inc. that Andrade had requested his release during last week's episode of Raw, or before it, at the taping. So shortly thereafter, but after we already put up a news brief, Dave Meltzer confirmed that Andrade had asked for his release and reported that his request was denied. PW Insider also confirmed that Andrade had asked for his release and noted that sources told them that the former U.S. and NXT champ looked, quote, absolutely miserable at last week's Raw.
Yeesh. Yeah.
He hasn't been on TV since October.
It's a tremendous waste of a man's talent. It really is. It's a shame. It's a bummer.
In the prime of his career, because I think he's in his early 30s.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so I would understand. You got all the talent in the world, like he does. Prime of his career, like he is. Mm-hmm. You worked your way to get to what many consider the top of your profession, WWE.
WWE.
And you put on some spectacular matches. You go out of your way to, to work hard to improve yourself in the eyes of Vince McMahon, and it gets you nothing.
Yeah, it's for several wrestlers there, it seems like it'd be a bit of a Kafka-esque nightmare. Him and Aleister Black. I mean, those are the two main ones that I can think of. Yeah. That it's just mind-boggling why.
Well, there was those reports, going around that Vince wanted him to improve his English or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember Sean Ross Sapp tweeting out something like he was at junkets for SummerSlam. I think the ones in Toronto, and he wasn't scheduled.
Yeah.
And he just talked to people.
Yeah.
He was just doing interviews
in English language. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the type of a performer you think you want to feature in your company.
I remember hearing
Well,
about
who's willing to put in the extra work, you know?
I remember hearing about Aleister Black when he got to main roster. He'd like go around cleaning stuff up. He'd like clean up after people to like say, "Hey, I'm here to do whatever it needs to be done." Yeah, showing respect, paying his dues. And where did that get him?
Stuck in a room.
Stuck in a room. It is perplexing, given how much TV time they're able. Given number one, they sign everybody that they can. Yeah. Given that they have 1 million hours of TV every single week, we got 3 coming up tonight, and they can't find room for these guys. It's pretty awful.
2 immensely talented sports entertainers, professional wrestlers.
And the thing
who check every box. They check every box. I've said this before, and there's no room for them. It's ridiculous. The
thing that's like, especially, I mean, the thing that must be extra frustrating to them is that in the time that they've been with WWE, there has emerged, competitors in the North American market. Not just AEW, but New Japan is now a name in
Impact's
North
on
America.
The rise.
Impact. So there's any number of places that they could be plying their trade at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
But the place that they, that they have offered their services to, they've committed to, and then they won't let them go. Come on. If you think that they're not worth being on TV, just let them go if they want to go.
If Vince perceives them as having no value to the company, let them go.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the downside of that is they'll go to another company and prove, yes, they have immense value to whoever whatever company they work for, assuming they get opportunity to showcase what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just I don't know. It's a crummy situation. Because again, you see them both putting in tons of work.
Yeah.
And not necessarily being rewarded for it. It's disappointing. It's disheartening.
To say the least. Also disheartening, Vince McMahon's disheartened with the talent's response, the roster's response to COVID. Fightful Select is reporting that Vince McMahon is reportedly upset about talent not following COVID protocols. If you recall, Steve Cutler was reportedly let go by WWE due to contracting COVID after attending a New Year's Eve party.
I believe Meltzer reported on that.
And now Fightful states that this time it was a wrestler or staff member at Disney, unmasked weeks back, that sent Vince McMahon off after he made it clear he wanted wrestlers taking more precautions as a result of COVID-19 risks. And then then he turns around and says, "I want 45,000 people at WrestleMania." Wow. So wait, had you actually read that they were doing pods at Mania?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I think I've heard with John Alba. John Alba had a pretty extensive thing on Twitter today about them wanting to have the largest post pandemic or since lockdown crowd.
Yeah.
With the 45,000 number. And I thought amongst that he mentioned that I heard somewhere today that the pods would be like group packages of 6, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
As far as the social distancing between those pods, who knows? But
yeah, right. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to set up ringside, if they're going to try to put the pods, next to each other, so you can have something that would kind of simulate or kind of replicate fans at ringside. So yeah. Wasn't this is stuff that I guess you just got to be kind of glad that wasn't there also something from Fightful today about NXT having to change some of their card this coming week?
Yeah.
Because of that as well.
Because of COVID stuff, yeah. And then also confirmed it on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got something here from PW Mania, and I don't know what this is. It's Ticketmaster. We'll say Ticketmaster. Yes, these tickets are used seating in pods of 1 to 6 people per pod. Pods must be purchased in their entirety and may not be divided.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Tickets in a pod may not be sold or transferred to anyone other than the family, trusted acquaintances chosen to attend the events together.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the entire pod worth of tickets are being sold together. Huh.
Oh, yeah, here you go. Ed Fry's pods of 1 to 6 people only in your family or friend group. You have to buy the whole pod.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
Let's get a 6-person pod and just hang out together, you and me.
All right, just you and I.
Just you and I, yeah.
With 4 empty seats on either side of us.
That'd be yeah. Can we like have them bring in like some like cozy chairs? I would super do that. You know, man. Honestly, all I asked for at that Mania we went to, and I was so miserable at, is give me like a chair where I got some armrests and like a drink cozy, like a little place for my drink holder.
Yeah,
you know,
that would make you much happier.
I
thought it was the lights that bothered you more than anything else.
It was everything, man. I've gotten very sensitive to everything in my old age.
Oh, we got a raid here from Kaufman. Thank you.
Thank you, intern
Christopher Kaufman. Let's talk more about.
And great job cutting best of. If you guys want to learn about the infamous, underwhelming Damian Priest donut story, you can find it on Best of February 2021, available right now. All right, Larson, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Harry's. You know what, man? Far too often in life, we're forced to choose between quality or a fair price. But I'm happy to say that with Harry's, you don't have to choose. Harry's gives you award-winning blades at factory direct prices.
Yeah, Harry's are such believers in quality that they purchase their own factory in Germany so they can own each and every step of the manufacturing process. They've combined a simple ergonomic design with 5 sharp blades and managed to do that while offering their blades at a fair price. And right now, Harry's is offering their starter set plus a free body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/raw.
Yeah, I've been using Harry's for a while now to keep this face of mine super smooth. And I've got to say the quality of their blades is top notch. In fact, Harry's stands by the quality of their blades so much that they offer up a 100% money back guarantee.
If you want a clean, smooth shave like Steve here, well, do I have a scoop for you. For a limited time, Harry's has an exclusive offer for Going In Raw listeners. New customers can get a Harry's starter set and a free body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/raw. That's over a $16 value for just $3.
That's right. You'll get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel, a travel cover, and a travel-size body wash. It's an incredibly great deal, but act fast while supplies last. Go to harrys.com/raw to redeem your offer.
Let's talk more WrestleMania. So last Thursday, WrestleVotes tweeted out that the card for Mania this year was still very much up in the air. Then over the weekend, the aforementioned John Alba of Living the Gimmick, go subscribe to their Patreon. It's like at least once a week you get Alba scoops email.
Yeah, man.
And you get wrestling news right there.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's awesome.
So subscribe to Living the Gimmick on Patreon. So yes, in John's latest Alba scoop, he reported that a source told him that the card is in fact pretty much locked in, but his source did state that, quote, the process of getting to this point is broken, and there is some anger over the power those at the top of the creative process hold in terms of information flow. So interesting.
That is interesting. Although, I'll be honest with you, it's been kind of obvious that they have matches ready to go. I mean, we came up with like, 7 of them just the other day?
Yeah.
Just off the top of our heads? I mean,
I think it's a situation where there are stories in place and matches that would inevitably seemingly lead from those stories, but to actually say, okay, this is happening at WrestleMania, it might be somewhat fluid, Yeah,
I mean, it could be like it's saying here, a communication issue. It's like, well, we don't know. I mean, are we going to keep doing this thing? Do we still want stories for these two guys?
They have stories in place, and they, it seems like it could be booked out to Mania, but based on what else might be slotted for the Mania card, whether they'll make the cut or not, I'm sure you could probably have 22 matches, with all the stories that they got going, if they so choose, but not everything is going to lead to Mania.
I would imagine just working for a place where you got Vince McMahon, he's not letting Andrade or Aleister Black on TV. That's problem number 1. And then problem number 2, you're writing stuff. It's Monday, turn in your script, and then what you see on the TV is completely rewritten.
Completely different.
That's got to be that you have to have a special type of
a unique temperament to compartmentalize things to that extent. I would think.
You're exactly right. You have to have a special ability to not give a shit. Hey, I'm going to give them my best work, and it's going to be completely peed on by the time it hits, any semblance of it hits the TV screen.
And it's got to take an incredible amount of patience to see that happening on a weekly basis and just kind of go, oh, well,
you can't do
best.
You have to just, you got to get a good, satisfying hobby, some fanfic.
Well, the problem is you don't have time. If you're a WWE writer, you like work all the time. You're constantly on the clock. You get calls at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Things. Yeah.
You know, what do you have time for a hobby?
Let's have a meeting. Come on, man. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm taping.
What do you do? Sleeping?
Why do you say it like that? It's a normal, necessary
I
bodily...
just got back from the gym.
What gym is open right now? 24-hour, idiot.
24-hour fitness.
25-hour fitness.
All right, let's talk NXT. Moving to Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm moving to Tuesday. Oh, LA Knight's not a draw.
So PW Insider is reporting that, quote, several WWE sources confirmed today that the first WWE NXT episode coming out of WrestleMania 37 weekend is currently scheduled to be held and broadcast Tuesday, April 13th. That coincides with what we heard earlier. Meanwhile, though, Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out today, quote, NXT talent staff I've spoken to say that their internal talent relations app show blank schedules for the week after WrestleMania. I would imagine Tuesdays will happen then, but WWE has confirmed there are different calendars for different departments.
Oh, man. Blank schedules. Good Lord. What's going on over there?
It just sounds, well, I mean, honestly, it sounds like business as usual. You know, it sounds like a normal course of events for WWE where, you know, you got this huge thing that potentially be happening. Is it happening? I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Oh man, we got to figure out. So we're gonna do. What are we gonna do again? We're gonna do NXT reviews on Wednesday instead of like a news brief. We're doing like a Wednesday at noon.
Unless they end up moving Impact to Thursdays, then we'll have to reevaluate. Well, I guess we still do Impact or NXT on Wednesdays regardless.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're streaming every night, every weeknight.
Yeah, That's
kind of a lot.
NXT on Tuesdays. Well, no, we'd watch Impact on Tuesdays.
Well, I'm saying if they end up moving it to Thursday, though.
If they move that to Thursday,
then we'd be streaming every night if we keep up with our current.
No, I'd still say we get Tuesday nights to ourselves.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's five straight nights of.
You know what? I'll say this: NXT, step your game up, and then you'll get Going in Raw covering you night of.
And this is
Be
Steve's
vital.
Favorite. This is Steve's favorite.
It's my favorite. Although UK and Impact are making really strong cases lately, so like it's all fluid. They're making really strong cases. But no, I fully understand. Look, NXT is something that I enjoy. But I also understand it's like not vital, you know, not these days anyways, like it used to be. But now it's like, you know, it's like prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Impact. Here's the thing about Impact. Impact is just fun for us.
Yeah, it is. It's it's like no stress.
It's like it's not vital, but it's fun. So it's like that's just good. That's good engagement. Is what they say in the industry.
It's just a fun experience. Speaking of Impact, let's talk Sacrifice. Man, really fun show. Mm-hmm. Surprises, as you mentioned at the head. We can just do some match results here, and then if any specific thoughts on it, we could just jump into it. Match that kicked off the show, The Decay, Crazy Steve, and Black Taurus. They defeated Reno Scum.
This was not surprising. But it was a good match. Outcome. Yeah, Taurus and Black Taurus is great.
Oh, he's fantastic. Next, Tennille Dashwood and Caleb defeated Havoc and Nevaeh. You know, this was to a degree surprising because back when we first really started getting into Impact, Tennille was losing all the time. But she's been on a winning streak of late, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but, man, Caleb was rocking a neck brace. He's like a comedy thing. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he take the pin? Havoc and Nevaeh are supposed to be, like, trying to get those tag titles.
They're just out of that program for the tag titles. So of course they made the finals of the tournament, and I think they had a rematch and lost that. So
they it's like skyrocketing down to the bottom, man. Oof, not good. This was thoroughly exciting because it basically had huge implications for us. And understand
the Impact
this.
Title, yes.
We have managed, because of Impact's unpredictability factor, we have turned their programming into must watch because, the trios title, Enforcer, with his manic picks paid off for him this time. But this match right here solidified me winning the Impact title. So it was the Confused Cowboy, Joe Dorning, and what's his name? Cousin? Diener. Didn't he have a first name?
Not anymore.
Diener. And then they defeated Chris Sabin and James Storm, the non-Confused Cowboy. And yeah, this was not really surprising necessarily because we both had low confidence points on our picks here.
Yeah.
But of course they overbooked the crap out of this. Rhino comes out at the very end and immediately I'm like, oh, he's going to turn bad guy here. And sure enough, he gored Chris Sabin to help Diener and the Confused Cowboy pick up this particular win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then next, Ed Edwards. Yeah. Brian Myers in a home harmless match. This was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another match that we thought could probably go either way. Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, is not the most professional wrestler when it comes to hold harmless matches. Ed Edwards, gets the advantage, gets the win.
Again, kind of could have gone either way. You and I think both picked the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers.
I think we went that way because we were hoping that Matt Cardona would do something that would lead to an alliance between Brian Myers and himself, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. And then we had Kara Hogan and Tasha Steelz defeating Jordan Grace and Jazz. Again, this was a match that I kind of deep down I was like, man, Impact they're kind of crazy. They could do a title switch here and give Jazz one because Jazz is kind of on her retirement tour, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
She's implicated that, or she's indicated that rather. Hey, maybe they do a little bit of hot potatoing here to get Jazz one last title run. But no, they didn't go that route. Kara Hogan and Tasha Steelz picked up the win here.
Yeah. Next division match. This was fantastic.
Terrific. Yeah, this is a great match.
Ace Austin, your new X Division champion, defeating TJP.
Mm-hmm.
This is the match that sealed it for the Enforcer getting that trios title.
Oh, thrilling stuff.
Truly was. Really good match, too.
Yeah,
Ace Austin is fantastic.
A terrific match. He was working babyface this match, and it was really terrific stuff. And then we had kind of the lock of the night, which was Deonna Purrazzo defeating ODB. Really fun match and everything, but I think Purrazzo is the one person who it's once there's a real challenge, I don't know if it's going to end up being Susan or who, but once there's a real challenger, then we'll see where they go from there. But yeah, we kind of figured ODB wasn't going to be that.
The hugest surprise of the night was next. The Good Brothers losing those tag titles to FinJuice. Again, you mentioned at the top of the show, you could kind of see it based on kind of this rekindling of the relationship between Impact and New Japan. The only reason I thought that maybe the Good Brothers would retain, even with that in mind, is because when we heard when the Good Brothers signed with Impact, it was with the idea they would still be welcome to come back to New Japan as well once this pandemic situation is over with. So it's not like the New Japan could potentially have a vested interest in either team winning, essentially.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, FinJuice got the win.
I am really curious. It's kind of interesting because Finley also has taken on. He made it to the quarterfinals of the New Japan Cup, so he's really coming up, which is great. Mm-hmm. This was really fun to see. It's going to be I'm looking forward to seeing what are they going to do from here. Are they going to do a rematch of Rebellion? Are the good, because I know New Japan is interested in using the Good Brothers over there. Are they going to have an Impact title match in New Japan, perhaps? I don't know. Are they going to do it on Strong, maybe?
It could be entirely possible that the Good Brothers might be dedicating more of their time to going over to AEW, too, in the near future. And maybe, to a degree, taking their leave from Impact for a little bit.
That could be. You never know. Yeah, you never know.
Never know.
And then, again, this is not entirely surprising given that the winner gets to take on Kenny Omega at the upcoming Rebellion pay-per-view. Rich Swann defeated Moose in a terrific,
it was really
terrific match.
Really good.
And then so he's now the unified world champion. And then Moose, I believe this was on Twitter. I'm taking a look here. Tweeted out this. afterwards, I think it was yesterday. No, it was the night of. He says, "Tonight I proved that I'm undoubtedly the best big man in professional wrestling and one of the best wrestlers in the world. I came short of becoming the undisputed champion. We'll take time off to reevaluate the past, rebuild, refocus, rebrand, and think about the future." There's a gif here of him doing that moonsault press slam.
Oh, that was great.
Or the moonsault power slam or whatever. To Rich Swann, and it's beautiful. And then I think it wasn't the finish where Moose goes up high and he gets dropped by the cutter from Rich Swann. Golly,
it was towards the finish. Yeah, that was
I don't know if that was the actual finish, but man, it was so perfectly timed.
It was really good. It was really good.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, ExpressVPN. You know, Larson, I really do love Britain and all things British. You know that. And I really want to check out what's happening on the BBC iPlayer. It's free, but man, it's only available in the UK.
Well, Steve, if I told you there was a way to not only protect your online activity from the prying eyes of big tech who are constantly tracking and profiting off of you, but also it's a way to unlock a whole new world of entertainment, including BBC iPlayer, would you be interested?
You right, I would, absolutely, Governor.
All right, well, to check out ExpressVPN, see, here's the deal, Steve. ExpressVPN encrypts your data and reroutes it through a server location of your choice. There's over 90 countries to choose from. So every time you run out of stuff to watch, just fire up the ExpressVPN app on your laptop, on your smart TV, you switch your country, and you hit connect. You refresh the page, and a brand new selection of shows will be at your fingertips.
Man, there's a reason why ExpressVPN is the #1 rated VPN provider by publishers like Wired, CNET, and most importantly, Going In Raw. So be smart, guys. Protect your data and stop paying full price for streaming services while only getting access to a fraction of their content. Visit expressvpn.com/GIR right now and get 3 extra months of their service for free.
That's expressvpn.com/GIR, expressvpn.com/GIR to learn more. Let's talk New Japan Cup because we got our quarterfinals set. So we had some matches over the weekend. The results are as follows. Shingo Takagi defeated Hiroki Goto. Kenta defeated Minoru Suzuki. Will Ospreay defeated Zack Sabre Jr. Sonata defeated Yuji Nagata. David Finlay defeated Yoshihashi. Jay White defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi while making fun of his tummy fat.
I was really looking forward to Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr., and that was great. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But holy crap, Jay White is like really close to being my current Wrestler of the Year guy. Oh my gosh, his mocking, because he looks like $1 million.
Oh yeah.
And look, Tanahashi by any standard looks amazing.
Like $1 million too.
Looks like $1 million.
But Jay going and pinching his tummy, try to find a couple fat cells there.
So he's stretching him, and he starts doing the air guitar on Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, Tana. What is this here? He starts pinching his belly fat, and it's Tana. There's not really a lot there. But it's not like they're washboard like Jay White, and he's pinching his fat, and then they had him win. Oh man, that's heat right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tanahashi was pissed
when
he was doing the ab off. He was doing this, and he was messing with the press conference afterwards. He had 2 of the young lions,
holding them up,
him up.
Yeah,
and he kept on dead weighting him. So and then he said, "Come on, hold me up." And they were both trying not to laugh, and then he was telling them to smile, so they were able to break a little bit. He's doing brilliant work. Jay White is absolutely my favorite thing going right now, man. He is so terrific.
So let's talk these quarterfinals slated for this week. We got Evil versus Yano, and then Shingo versus Kenta on the left side of the bracket. The right side got Ospreay versus Sonata, Dave Finlay versus Jay White. You got to think Jay White. It's kind of a toss-up between Ospreay and Sonata, but Jay White's probably getting to the semis. It'd be pretty cool if it was Evil versus Shingo.
I get the feeling
on the other side.
I get the feeling that's the way it's got to go down. It's going to be Evil versus Shingo Takagi, and then on the other side, I mean, it seems obvious that it's going to be, or it seems like most likely that it would end up being Ospreay versus Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
But because
you could also get Jay White versus Evil or Kenta. You have an all Bullet Club final for the New Japan. That could potentially be interesting. Think of how overbooked that would be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We might get a Sonata rematch. We might get a Shingo versus Jay White would be something else.
Shingo versus Will Ospreay. We've seen that before, and it was really good.
Yeah, no kidding. I could see it. Yeah. I just get the feeling that it's going to be Jay White, because he's talking about splitting the titles again. He's like, yeah, you got to put them together. I'm going to take them back apart, so I'll have 2 belts. Oh, he's great. He's great.
That's pretty great.
All right, we got a Raw tonight. You want to talk about Raw a little bit?
Sure.
You know what, man? I'm not even dreading Raw tonight, Larson, because the winds of change.
Last week was pretty good. Last week was a pretty solid episode of Raw.
I think they got some good stuff going with Raw. What
is the issue with WWE always, though? Follow through. So let's see if they could follow through on what was a largely really entertaining episode of Raw and continue that trend. First entry here, WWE Champion Bobby Lashley's almighty era has begun.
Yep. Is that a preview?
That's
what
part
they
of the
consider
preview.
a preview? Yeah. All right, let's see here. Also, the New Day to challenge Raw Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Business. That's probably going to lead to like a rematch at Fastlane, maybe.
I would think so. And then Riddle to battle Mustafa Ali in a United States title match again. It's entirely possible this has some sort of wonky finish leading to another bout at Fastlane.
Seems like it'd probably be the case.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. We have a thread on the Twitter as I load that on up over here.
Same. Mr. Triple Mania, Juan Guerrero Jr., does AEW eventually create their own version of the iconic film No Holds Barred? If so, who would be the stars? I think we already got it to an extent. Cody, Shaq, No Holds Barred, the AEW, the movie.
Yeah, well, Cody's done acting, Shaq's done acting. Let's get it done. Let's do that. I like it. Let's see here.
B-Man, Patrick Sparks, you can only use a normal sitting desk or a standing desk when a desk is needed in life. What do you pick and why? I know standing desks are supposed to be better, but for what we do, if I had to stand for a whole hour to do the podcast, that'd be pretty miserable.
Yeah, I would not use a standing desk. I tried doing that once. I tried I was watching way back. I was trying to watch Raw and take notes or something while standing at I have that sort of bar.
Yeah, your wet bar in
my wet bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried doing that. It lasted all of 5 minutes. I was like, "Fuck this! I want to be on my plush couch."
Alex C. Power rank what makes the great Okan so great.
Is that a trick question?
I mean, I'm just reading the question as it's.
So, okay, number one is his mind meld thing that he does. He does this.
Remember.
Yeah, remember. Number two, his teeth. I think it's the mouth guard. Looks like he's got sharp teeth.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Number three, he stole the Mongolian chop from Tenzin.
From Tenzin, yeah.
Who now apparently is just doing it anyways.
There's been no repercussions?
No repercussions.
Well, that's kind of
He's just doing it. He's like the Steve of New Japan.
I guess so, just backing out of everything.
Right, exactly. It's like, well, there's no repercussions. Why wouldn't I? Mad with power. Yeah, I do like his ring attire. It looks comfortable. He's got the flowy pants.
I watched one of his matches where he just had trunks on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he busts the trunks out at least from time to time.
Oh, that's cool. I like the flowy pants.
Yeah, they do seem comfy.
And his entrance, the mask is great. Looks like an ear.
Yeah. Like the overall design of his packaging is really good.
The name is awesome. The Great Okan.
It's good.
That's awesome. I'm not a huge fan right now of the meat of his wrestling.
Well, I do like. He's fresh off Excursion after being Young Lion.
Yeah, no,
this is the stuff they have to work up to.
Yeah.
Tim Spulak, will Larson watch the Snyder Cut? Yeah, I'll probably watch it at some point. This is a good question from Sean Lathrop. Steve, what does Christian have to do this year to be a Hall of Famer in your eyes?
Too late. Too late. Yeah, this is his what do you call it? I don't know. Like, McCartney was never going to become like McCartney after 1980. McCartney after 1980. Well, maybe some of the
after Wings broke up?
Yeah, after Wings. McCartney post Wings is not a Hall of Fame career. Everything prior to that is. Right now, Christian is post 1980 Paul McCartney, but he doesn't have a Paul McCartney career before that.
Here's the thing: if Paul McCartney had it within him to write an album on par with some of the Beatles' greatest post 1980, that wouldn't be the case. And I'm not saying Christian has it in him to have a Shawn Michaels-esque second phase Hall of Fame unto itself, second part of the career, but.
Yeah, that's a good point. Shawn Michaels, after his return in 2003 or 4 or whatever it was,
had like a second Hall of Fame career.
He had a second Hall of Fame career. Yeah. Christian won't do that.
Well, we don't know. Luchaplex, with the majority of matches still in the state of flux, WrestleMania booked 3 matches that need to happen at the granddaddy of them all. So let's take the ones that haven't been announced. Edge, Roman, Sasha, Bianca. Let's take those off the table. Obviously, those are happening. Mm-hmm. Let's even assume Daniel Bryan is going to be put in that main event night 2, the Roman Edge match, because I don't know, man. I feel like that's going to be a near certainty come this Sunday.
I wish somebody, damn it. I forget where I saw this, and I really apologize, but I saw this suggestion on Twitter. I don't want to say who. I don't want to say who I think it was, because if it wasn't that person, I feel bad.
Yeah,
it's like Alex McCarthy or something like that. I forget. I do. Suggested, I'm just saying, this is not my original idea, that Daniel Bryan versus Edge is night 1, and the winner of that is against Roman night 2.
There you go.
Which would make total sense. That's
a possibility.
Okay, so where do you put the WWE title? To me, if you do that with Edge and Daniel Bryan, so you get like not a triple threat for that. You do a triple threat. Sheamus has put in the work.
Yeah, you do Sheamus.
Put in the work.
You do Sheamus, you do Drew, you do Bob Lashley. Yep.
So Bob Lashley can pin Sheamus and not Drew, and everybody looks like $1 million.
Yep. Assuming Asuka is good to go for Mania, she can recuperate from her concussion in time. Do a scramble, some sort of gauntlet type situation for the Raw Women's title. I think that'd be a great way to reestablish Asuka as the force in the Raw Women's division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that way, if they want Charlotte to beat her at the end, Asuka's already gone through 4 other competitors,
a bunch of other people.
So I think that'd be awesome. I don't know if they would do that based on a time, allotted for the show, but I think even if you go do a half-hour gauntlet type situation, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be really good. I mean, all you really need is one really, really stellar stretch like her versus Rhea Ripley or something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you have, Asuka tap out a couple people really quick. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if she's not there, you know what you do? You do a ladder match. You get Rhea, you get Charlotte, you get Peyton Royce, you get Mandy Rose, you get Dana Brooke, and then one other person. Or put Shayna and Nia in there.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. DJ Luke D, what is going in raw math on Roman Reigns? It's pretty high.
He's got good math.
He does have
really good math.
So let's do it real quick. Being good.
Good.
Promo now, he's at least an 8.
A promo for his promos. I sort of balanced it out with his early. I'll be honest with you, man. I'll give his promos for now because I think that they're. I want to say it's like a 6.5 for me, his promo.
Okay, I was going to say let's do 7.
Seven's fine. 7's fine. I'd say 7. I want to get a larger sample size going.
This is
forward.
for the full duration of his career, not just
because he's increasing his average, but I think now he's like a 7.
Yeah. In ring, he's always been a very capable worker. The thing is with him in his face,
you have to have a good opponent.
He has to have a good opponent, and I don't know if this was direction to him. him showing vulnerability in the ring was not his strong suit. Since he's been a heel, he's managed to really mesh the character work with his in-ring work. It's like basically every pay-per-view match he has now is a fascinating watch.
They've turned his matches into really good story opportunities. That being said,
Yes.
I can't give him more than a 5 on in-ring.
Wow.
I'm just not there, dude. I don't like if you have to have a good, like him versus Daniel Bryan, I'll watch that all day. But like, I don't know. I've seen too many matches where it's just sort of snoozy, and he's got like too many moves, and I'm like, God, I'm not impressed with those moves at all.
Again, this is over the course of his whole career, not just recently.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5 because he hasn't even had that many recent matches recently.
Basically, everything he's had since he come back has been pretty darn good.
It's been pretty darn good, yeah.
Look, he looks like $1 million.
So he looks like $1 million for like an actor. And this isn't really necessarily because of him, but like I've just never been his SWAT gear doesn't look like wrestling gear. Like I don't know. I don't know if he looks like
We
I
don't
don't
wear
know
that anymore though.
Yeah, but he's still, what does he wear now? He's no shirt.
He's no
and, like,
shirt. He's not
sweatpants.
wearing. Yeah, he's kind of wearing the sweatpants. He's not wearing the
Which
the
should
cargo
be a 10
pants.
for me, to be honest with you.
Really, it should.
I'll give him, you know what? He does look like $1 million. I'll give him a 7 on look. I'll give him a
All right,
7
fair
on
enough.
look.
So
'Cause
that
that's pretty
is
high.
19. That's 6+ for being good. Kayfabe.
And we're
9.
about, yeah, dude, we're about to come
9.
into the, has he ever been booked like that's not like a 10? Like he's like against Brock maybe, but yeah, like a 9.5 basically.
Yeah, we'll say 9. We'll say 9. And then Legacy.
I mean, he's the guy of his generation.
Yeah,
He's the man of his generation. He's gonna have like a,
let's say 8. Say 8 for
let's
now.
say 8. 8's good.
8. So 17 is 23 divided by 3. That's 7+.
Yeah, that's strong territory right there.
For someone who's still very much in the first half of their career, that's a good score.
That's a good score.
Nowhere to go but up.
True. He'll be an 8. He'll be an 8 one day. He'll be an 8. He'll be probably an 8+ one day if he keeps going.
He'll be a solid 8. Greg Morris, Vince is the sole reason for wrestlers like Andrade not being used. If Vince was replaced, who'd be getting used more outside of the usual suspects? So outside of Andrade, Alistair, so on and so forth.
Okay, outside of the usual suspects, yeah, let's take Keith Lee, Andrade, and Aleister Black out of the equation. You'd see Finn Balor come up to main roster, be a main player. You'd see Adam Cole come up to main roster, be a main player.
You'd see
Kevin Owens would be a big
Peyton
player.
Royce and Billy Kay being utilized better.
You think so? I think Billy's kind of used to the best of. I mean, she hasn't been on TV lately, which is weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
when's the
deal
last
with
time
that
she
is.
wrestled?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think that's her. I'm not sure that's like how you use her. I think she's another Heenan. I think, man, you put Billy Kay at the head of a faction as their Heenan. I think you can make a lot of money off that. I wouldn't use her for a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Shayna would be in the main title scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mustafa Ali would be the U.S. champ too. Panda Police Club. Does AEW need to think about introducing a second brand with its own championship similar to SmackDown due to the rapidly increasing roster? If so, who would you pick as world singles and tag team champions? I don't think they do. No.
Let me ask you something, man. This is like a subject for a different video that we would do on a different channel if we ever did that. Was the original brand split, the idea of the brand split, good move or bad move? In terms of the importance of titles.
I mean, in terms of the importance of titles, it's probably a bad move because we saw throughout. It's better now, but throughout there was always one world championship that was weighted more heavily than the other. There's always a very obvious A title.
Yeah.
Which would immediately diminish the value of the other title.
I think that they probably should have just. I mean, look, it's WWE. They signed everybody in the world, especially back when they first did it. They had everybody, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I get that. But like, yeah, like you said, during most phases, like there was like one time when it was like Cena and Batista, I think were probably both champions or something like that. These days, you're right. It's a bit stronger. But, like, man, I know the size of the roster increased, but I just feel like they could have just managed their time better and their creative better and stuck with the same roster. Because it's like you have all this talent together. And I think if they had even utilized the idea of keeping brands separate and doing special events like WrestleMania would be their survival, how they do Survivor Series something like that, where they make a big deal about the two brands coming together. But it's like when you look back on like the title runs for various wrestlers, it's like I feel like this, historically speaking, they would have been looked upon as stronger had they been the actual King of the Mountain. You know what I mean? As opposed to this weird debate over which title was better or stronger or whatever.
Yeah. Or have one title that kind of supersedes brand, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The original idea for Universal title that I had.
Yeah.
The Wild Dude, do you think Walter will defend his title against anyone else by the time he hypothetically loses it to Ilya in front of a crowd? If you think so, against who do you think it'll be against? Who's Walter?
Oh, is he going to have? Yeah, well, he's got an announcement this Thursday.
Oh,
hey, I'm taking.
He should defend against Finn. I think that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I mean, I'm thinking right now, who's got the strongest? I mean, it's funny because A-Kid hasn't been on TV lately.
Yeah.
I know Tyler Bate has been like, he did the Mastiff match under Heritage Rules. And he's got like a new sort of Zen type gimmick thing going. I'm trying to think like who they're sort of building up. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's still him. I don't know. I mean, it might be Devlin. It's sort of funny how Devlin's already talking about coming to Orlando for Mania and facing what's his face, Santos Escobar, when like Trent Seven just got down to weight. And he's like, I think that's happening pretty soon.
That's called looking past your opponent.
It really is, yeah. And it also means that Trent Seven has no chance, which I knew he wasn't. No. But like, it would not shock me at all if there would be a Jordan Devlin match between now and then.
Mr. Sinister, so every company comes to an agreement on an elimination match at Survivor Series. Who would you guys like to be champions of each company brand for that match? So we're talking champion, okay. So say this October, we get...
It's like a Forbidden Door situation?
Yeah, where everybody's champ.
Okay, well, Moose is Impact champ. Because you can't have a dude from 205 showing up.
Yeah. So for WWE for me, it'd be either AJ or Adam Cole. And then it'd be Kenny, Moose, Ring of Honor. Kota Ibushi for New Japan.
Dude, did Moose and Lashley had to have a thing back in the day, right?
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I mean, it was probably one of my recaps. Yeah, here we go. Impact Genesis, January 25th, 20-something or another. 18, I think.
So this is what I got. We'll say Adam Cole.
There was a lot of that.
We'll say Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Moose. For Ring of Honor, we'll do Jonathan Gresham.
If this is correct here, it'd be like they had like a 3-year thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Kota Ibushi, and then from AAA, put Aerostar in there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to do this. For AAA, it's going to be, as much as I love Aerostar, it's going to be Rey Fenix. Man, I don't know, though. Like Blue Demon Jr., though.
He's got a hammer.
Dude, I'm going to put AAA is going to be Blue Demon Jr.
New Japan.
New Japan. I mean, as much as I'd want it to be King Switch, because he's doing such great work, in my mind, you get Tanahashi in there because he's the ace.
Go Ace. Ring of Honor.
Go Ace. You get Tanahashi. AEW is going to be... you know what, dude? I hate to say this. AEW is going to be Mox.
Interesting.
Because then, are we doing WWE and Universal?
No, just one.
Just one?
I'm making this a six person elimination match.
You got Roman, you got Mox, you got Tanahashi, you got Blue Demon Jr., and then let's see here. Impact. Yeah, it's Moose.
Moose, and then what about Ring of Honor? You got Matt Taven in there?
No, I think Gresham's probably the way to go. And then you also put in, I'm going to make it a 7-way because this guy's going to force his way into the dance from GCW. You get Nick Gage.
There you go.
Cursing up a storm.
Matt Field, back in 2011 in kayfabe, Triple H came out and relieved Vince of his duties. Since then, Vince in real life seems to be losing his mind creatively and backstage. So do you think it should happen for real? Or because of the $1 billion he made last year, he is untouchable? Vince is synonymous with WWE. If he were to step down, that stock would go.
If he wanted Triple H to eat floor chicken, Triple H would eat floor chicken. Oh no. Yeah, dude, he is untouchable. $1 billion deal after $1 billion deal. Get out of here. Vince McMahon is untouchable.
Not going anywhere.
Yep.
Gareth, now that he lost the title, how would you like to see Moose used in the current TNA AEW storyline? Any chance he crosses over and challenge for an AEW belt?
Man, how great would it be if Moose came over and collected that TNT title? Wouldn't that be terrific?
Cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Goes from TNA to TNT. That'd be great.
That would be great. That would be great.
Let's see here. Any other good questions? Yeah, I don't know about this one. So White Brownie asks about Asuka, with Meltzer recently reporting that Asuka has a concussion, going by WWE's record with concussions. How likely do we see her at Mania, let alone defend her title? I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to tell because we're not her medical.
We're still about a month out. Yeah,
practitioner.
It depends on the severity of it and how quickly she recuperates and whether she can pass the testing and stuff. We just don't know.
Yeah, we don't have access to that stuff.
Nope.
Okay, we'll do this one last one here from Dalen Dula. Recently, you woke up to discover you switched lives with William H. Macy, Lil Bill. You tried to contact your family, but none of them recognize you, and Macy seems happy stealing them out from under you. What wrestler do you tell your story to and convince to help you regain your life? So Lacey would be thrilled because she is a massive fan of Shameless.
Okay.
She watches that all the time. She's probably caught up at this point. So, but I don't know if he showed up at our door and started saying, "Hey, it's me." I don't know that she would be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you'd have to prove it
or something.
She'd be like, "Prove me wrong."
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it'd be fairly easy because I don't think Bill Macy knows much about my life.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
And so I'd probably be able to at least give her some amount of doubt that, that William Macy didn't steal my body.
As far as what wrestler I would enlist to help me, I can think of one wrestler who might have some experience in not exactly switching of bodies, but possession, that type of stuff. Bray Wyatt, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He seems to have experience in that kind of stuff. Therefore, he might be able to guide me through the twists and turns of trying to get myself back.
Similarly, I think Susan in Impact, I think she's dealt with that kind of stuff as well. I mean, Lacey is a fan of Mox. She likes Mox, so I might try to hit up Mox, or Cal Jack. He knows Lacey, so maybe I'd hit one of those guys. Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Twitch chat, stick around. We'll raid somebody and take some more of your questions. Hopefully you'll join us tonight for our Raw recap. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.